When I was a kid, I didn't even know I had curly hair. I didn't know at all because I started getting relaxers when I was 4 years old. I remember walking into a beauty supply store with my grandma when I was 4 and like pointing at a Just For Me home relaxer box, and I was like, I want to look like her. I didn't know I had curly hair till like a year ago, 2 years ago. Honestly, I swear it sounds crazy because I was so desperate to change who I was and so desperate to change what I looked like. And that idea of needing to change was only perpetuated further once I got into the industry. Agents saying it to me, you're not going to work if you don't straighten your hair. You're going to lose the clients that you have. You need to act like this. You need to, be this certain way. And it went even beyond just my physical appearance or my physical beauty. It changed the way that I carried myself. There were certain things about who I was that I felt like did not qualify or did not make me palatable, or things that I felt like I couldn't share about my past or where I come from.
What made you break through that?
It really started with, I guess, my natural hair journey. And I know that's something that can sometimes sound so superficial or whatever, but to Black women, hair is like a huge thing. And I realized that I had been subscribing to this like Eurocentric standard of beauty when it came to my hair and it came to other things, and it really made me question, like, what else in my life have I been subscribing to that wasn't my own idea? How have I changed myself to accommodate someone else, to make someone else feel comfortable, to make them feel like I'm non-threatening, or to make them feel okay? And what type of toll has that had on my self-esteem?
I never relaxed my hair. My mom never let me. But I don't think that still doesn't mean that from even within Black culture, you're not necessarily pressured to straighten or relax your hair, because I got that from within my community as well and outside the community. And I'm thinking specifically of this time that I saw when Victoria's Secret had their first model walk with natural hair, and I completely unexpectedly started sobbing, and I had no idea really where it was coming from, but it was this sort of recognition, I think, that this like mainstream corporate entity acknowledged that this was also something desirable and sexy. And even now, I still sort of have this desire of I want long hair, and I don't want it to just be cool, because that's everybody comes up and touches it and is like, it's cool, and I'm like, it's not just cool, this is me, this is humanity. I don't know. I think natural hair is like having a moment, and people think it's cool, but it's sort of interesting to experience that within a lifetime of feeling like it was ugly.
The transparency is that once somebody does something that they culturally appropriate, then it's okay and it becomes a trend, and it's treated as something so superficially when it means so much to every one of us. Mm-hmm. Culturally, from the Dominican Republic, hair, skin are very important. It's not something you just, let's throw on. Everybody wants to have long hair, everybody wants to have straight hair, everybody wants to have curly hair, but it's okay once somebody does it. I could not wear braids to work. Right. I remember working at Macy's as a beauty advisor. I was not able to wear my hair curly because it wasn't professional.
I didn't get a job. Yeah, my friend worked there.
Did they outwardly say to you?
Yes, and I didn't know my rights.
My friend who worked with this guy said he did not like my hair. He did not like how it looked, and he could not hire me because of that.
Well, I remember walking in, and her name is May, and she's like, "You can't wear your hair like that to work." And I'm like, "But this is my hair. I can't." And I got in trouble for that. It was like, well, why? This is my hair. Why is this not as professional as somebody else having straight hair? I did not understand that. So to me, right now, it's just a trend. There's still more work to be done.
I think that maybe in the fashion industry and in the media, it's a trend, but ultimately, we're waking up people's consciousness. At the end of the day, when some girl sees somebody in the magazine, it doesn't matter if that magazine's not out a year from now. That girl's not going to forget the image that she saw, and that's going to make her feel okay with wearing her hair natural. Women of color are not settling. They're not feeling like they have to compromise themselves and change themselves as much to be in the media, to be in magazines. And I feel like ultimately they're not going to go back to conforming.
It's not about conforming. It's about making it acceptable. It's about being able to not have these conversations as to why is this beautiful, and just making it for what it is, actually believing it, actually saying this is the norm. Yeah. Diversity is the norm and is not a trend.
And this is what our country looks like. This is honestly what our world looks like. Most of the people in this world are brown. And if everybody in this world mixed up together, we would be brown with curly hair. Yeah. That's what we would look like. And so Why? It just confuses me so much. This kind of like whitewash of the media.
I mean, ultimately, it's profitable.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, we live in a capitalist society. It's profitable to keep people feeling insecure so they can buy the products to, you know, support the corporations to make themselves feel better. James Baldwin has this quote, like, why does there need to be a Negro in the first place? There needs to be one so you can have somebody to oppress. You can't have extreme wealth without extreme oppression. There has to be one because we live in a capitalist society. There has to be one because somebody's profiting off of it. You know, I'm a model. Like, it's my job to sell things. Like, this is what I do. And it's kind of like, it's this moral conflict with me because I don't want someone to look at an image of me and feel like they have to change something about themselves, or they're going to have to buy the product or the shoes or whatever I'm selling in order to feel good about themselves, because then I'm just perpetuating this idea. And that's what keeps me going now, because if they see me being free, accepting who I am and loving myself, then they can love themselves too.